Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. What if I told you that the Commanders are making a bold move that could reshape their secondary and quite possibly the entire NFC East? Rumors are swirling around that Washington might be eyeing a blockbuster trade involving none other than Sauce Gardner, the Jets' star cornerback, and this could be a game-changer for the team's future. The whispers are coming from none other than Ian Rappaport himself, who indicates that the Commanders, looking to bolster their secondary, have their sights set on Gardner, especially with their exposed pass defense beyond Kendall Fuller, who's been solid but not enough to carry the entire coverage unit. Fuller has a PFF grade of 82.3, which is good, but the team clearly wants more lockdown ability, especially against the league's top receivers. So, what's the deal? According to the rumors, Washington is considering offering a first-round pick in 2026 plus Emmanuel Forbes, who's shown flashes but still has room to grow, in exchange for Gardner. Now, this isn't just a move to fix a weakness, it's a statement. The Commanders are positioning themselves to elevate their secondary into a true shutdown unit, pairing Gardner with Fuller to create a duo that could dominate man coverage, much like the top defenses in the league. Gardner, who was the 4th overall pick in the 2022 draft, has been nothing short of spectacular in 2025, already racking up 4 interceptions, 28 pass defenses in just 5 games, and boasting a PFF grade of 91.5, which puts him among the elite corners in the league. His ability to limit completions, allowing only 52% completion rate, and his -0.18 EPA per target make him a true island creator, someone who can shut down top receivers and make life miserable for quarterbacks. The Jets, on the other hand, are sitting at 1-4, and they're clearly in a rebuild mode, especially under Robert Sale. Their defense allows a hefty 28 points per game, and with Aaron Rodgers' struggles, completing just 59% of his passes, with 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, they're looking for ways to protect him better. The Jets are cap-strapped with around $15 million in cap space, and they're prioritizing protecting Rodgers, which explains why they might be willing to trade away Gardner, who commands a cap hit of about $10 million. They'd prefer to get a solid draft pick and Emmanuel Forbes, a promising corner with a PFF grade of 69, 2 and 2 interceptions in 2025, to help shore up their secondary. But the real question is, what are the Commanders getting in this deal? The answer is a potential defensive upgrade that could turn their secondary into a fortress. Imagine a secondary with Gardner and Fuller working in tandem. Gardner, known for his aggressive coverage, 68% jam success in press coverage, can take away top receivers, while Fuller can complement that by locking down the slot and providing support. Their combination could elevate the Commanders' man coverage success from 55% to around 75%, making it incredibly difficult for quarterbacks to complete passes against them. In fact, Gardner's career stats, 8 interceptions, 45 pass defenses, and forcing 6 fumbles, show that he's a ball hawk capable of creating turnovers and shifting momentum in favor of Washington. His ability to disrupt timing routes and his aggressive style would be a nightmare for opponents, especially in critical moments. And the impact of adding a player like Gardner isn't just about individual stats. It's about transforming the entire defense into a more aggressive, opportunistic unit. Based on his career numbers, Gardner could contribute to reducing passing yards allowed from an average of 215 yards per game down to around 160, and increase turnovers by approximately 22%. His presence would give the Commanders a significant boost in pass defense, making them more competitive against high-powered offenses in the NFL. Plus, with his projected +4.2 WAR wins above replacement in his career, he's a player who brings consistent value and stability. The potential trade also has major implications for the NFC East. The Commanders, by acquiring Gardner, could leapfrog some of their rivals in secondary talent and become a real obstacle in the playoff picture. This move would send a clear message that Washington is committed to contending and building a defense that can shut down even the most explosive offenses. For the Jets, it's a different story. They're focusing on rebuilding and protecting their franchise quarterback, Rodgers, by stockpiling draft capital and young talent in their secondary. It's a classic case of a team tanking for a better future, while the Commanders are trying to capitalize on this moment to strengthen their roster for a deep playoff run. Now, let's talk about the broader context. The NFL trade deadline is approaching, and this kind of move, if it happens, would shake up the league. It's reminiscent of the kind of blockbuster deals we saw in previous years, like when the Rams traded for Jalen Ramsey in 2019, or when teams made bold moves to acquire game-changing players. The Commanders are in a unique position right now, sitting at 3-2 and showing signs of improvement on both sides of the ball. Their offense, led by Sam Howell, has been improving, but it's their defense that's the real question mark. Adding a superstar like Gardner could be the missing piece that transforms their secondary from average into elite. And let's not forget about the history of the Commanders' secondary. They've had talented players before, but consistency and playmaking ability have been issues. Fuller has been reliable, but they need that extra edge, that game-changing presence, and Gardner fits that description perfectly. His ability to change the course of games with interceptions and pass defenses can't be overstated. Plus, his aggressive approach in press coverage can disrupt timing routes and force quarterbacks into making mistakes, which is exactly what the Commanders need to elevate their defensive identity. Looking ahead, if this trade goes through, the implications for the NFL landscape are huge. The Commanders could become a serious playoff threat, especially if Gardner lives up to his potential and continues to perform at an all-pro level. The odds of a Super Bowl appearance could skyrocket from +8, 0 to as low as +3, 200, according to DraftKings, if they can build a dominant secondary that can lock down top receivers in the postseason. It's a bold move, but one that signals their ambitions and willingness to take risks for greatness. This kind of upgrade could also inspire their young players, motivate their coaching staff, and send a message to the rest of the league that Washington is here to contend. Of course, all of this hinges on the trade actually happening, which is still just a rumor for now, but one that has a lot of credibility given the current state of both teams and the strategic needs on each side. The Jets are in a rebuild, trying to maximize their draft capital and protect Rodgers, while the Commanders are looking to solidify their secondary and push toward playoff contention. The deadline is approaching, and the buzz is real. Fans are excited about the possibility of adding a player like Gardner, which could be a turning point for Washington's defense and their overall season trajectory. And this brings us to the bigger picture. The NFC East is competitive, with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys looking strong, but Washington's move to acquire a top-tier cornerback could finally give them the defensive boost they need to challenge for the division crown again. It's all about making smart, bold moves at the right time, and right now, the Commanders seem ready to do just that. The potential impact on the playoffs, on their reputation, and on their ability to compete against the best in the league is huge. So we'll be watching closely to see if this trade materializes, how it unfolds, and what it means for the Commanders' future. Now, let's take a quick step back and think about what this signifies for the team's overall strategy. Washington has been building steadily, focusing on their young quarterback, Sam Howell, who's shown flashes of brilliance but still needs support and stability around him. Strengthening the secondary is a logical step, especially against high-powered offenses like the Eagles or the Cowboys. Gardner's proven track record in coverage, combined with his ability to create turnovers, could be the missing piece that turns this defense into a nightmare for opposing teams. The secondary would be a fortress, making life miserable for quarterbacks and giving the offense more opportunities to score and extend leads. Plus, this move, if it happens, would send a clear message to the league. The Commanders are serious about winning now. They're not just aiming for a playoff appearance, they want to make a deep run, and they're willing to make bold moves to do so. The NFC East is known for its tough physical football, and having a lockdown corner like Gardner could tilt the balance in Washington's favor. Imagine Gardner lined up against top receivers, shutting them down consistently, forcing turnovers, and energizing the entire team. That kind of defensive presence can be a game changer, especially in high-stakes playoff games. Now, we should also consider the perspective of the Jets. They're in a different phase, trying to rebuild and accumulate draft capital. Trading away Gardner for a first-round pick in 2026 and Emmanuel Forbes, who's promising but still developing, makes sense for them long-term. Protecting Rodgers is their priority right now, and they're betting on the draft and young talent to get them there. But in the short term, losing Gardner might weaken their secondary, which is already allowing 28 points per game. That's a concern, especially as they try to turn their season around. From the Commanders' side, this is a calculated risk. Emmanuel Forbes has shown potential, and adding Gardner would pair two young, talented corners who can learn and grow together. The secondary would be a major upgrade, and that could translate into more wins, more turnovers, and a stronger playoff push. It's about creating a defense that can dominate in big moments, and Gardner's proven track record in press coverage and ball skills makes him an ideal fit. His ability to force turnovers, his interceptions and forced fumbles, could be the difference in close games, especially in the postseason. In conclusion, this rumored trade is one of the most exciting developments for Washington Commanders fans in recent memory. It symbolizes a shift towards a more aggressive, defense-first mentality that could propel the team into serious contention. With Gardner's elite skills and the team's desire to build a secondary that can compete with the best, the future looks promising if this move comes to fruition. The NFL landscape could be changing right before our eyes, and the Commanders are right at the heart of it, positioning themselves to make a splash and leave a lasting mark on the league. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and we'll be here to keep you updated on every twist and turn. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.